Hello, I'm Deepa Bhatt, one of the writers for BMC, and this video describes the EasyDeploy utility, its benefits and limitations, and how you can download this utility from BMC communities. Let's start with what the EasyDeploy utility is and some of its key features. The EasyDeploy utility is a CLI-based utility that enables you to export artifacts from one BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management system and then import the same to another BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management system. Using this utility, you can export or import service blueprints with specific versions, a multi-tier blueprint created by using reuse service blueprints, a service catalog along with post-deployment actions with option and option choices, service offerings, services, and software packages. You can also use this utility to specify additional parameters to indicate whether you want to create duplicate options, create user profiles, and share your artifacts with the rest of the BMC communities and allow them to use your cloud deployment's best practices. Now, we'll see the benefits of this utility by comparing how artifacts were handled before the EasyDeploy utility was introduced and how they are handled by the utility. Prior to the EasyDeploy utility, the service blueprint JSON file and BMC server automation artifacts were exported and imported manually. Now, service blueprints are exported and imported with all the BMC server automation artifacts such as the system packages, software packages, and NSH scripts. Earlier, services and service offerings were created manually, and software packages were exported and imported manually via the BMC Server Automation console. Today, services, service offerings, and software packages can be exported and imported by using the utility. BMC Atrium Orchestrator workflows were imported and exported manually from the BMC Atrium Orchestrator repository. BMC Atrium Orchestrator workflows, if any, can be exported and imported. Earlier, because BMC server automation artifacts had to be imported manually, no product catalog entries were created during import. Product catalog entries from the definitive media library are linked to the service blueprint during import. Let us make a note of some of the limitations of the EasyDeploy utility. Only a single session of EasyDeploy can be active from a single server. The option that you included in the exported service must have at least one option choice. The source and the target BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management environment versions for importing an EasyDeploy package must be the same. Note that EasyDeploy packages exported from earlier versions of BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management cannot be imported in the later versions of BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management. The virtual guest package creation process uses the template reference and licenses, but not other properties such as the time zone. Therefore, you must update these properties manually after you create the VGP. Ensure that you enable the BMC BladeLogic Server Automation Web Services to export BMC Server Automation artifacts successfully. Ensure that third-party providers like OpenStack or Azure are registered and their corresponding product catalog entries are onboarded in the target environment before performing EasyDeploy operations. EasyDeploy creates a request definition type as compute only, irrespective of the original request definition type of the service imported. For example, OpenStack service has the request definition type as OpenStack, but after importing the OpenStack service, the request definition type is set to compute by EasyDeploy. You must then manually set the correct request definition type for the imported service. Lastly, for imported option icons to be visible on the GUI, you must restart the mid-tier service and clear the browser cache. Downloading the EasyDeploy utility is easy if you have access to the BMC Cloud Lifecycle Management community. For the purpose of this demo, I'll show how you can download the EasyDeploy utility for a Windows environment. Log on to BMC Communities. I'll perform a search on the word Easy Deploy. Click Easy Deploy and then download Easy Deploy 3.0 for Windows. This is the utility that is compatible with CLM 4.5. Save this file. I've chosen to download it on my desktop in the Easy Deploy folder. Unzip this file. Navigate to the Easy Deploy directory and then execute easydeploy.cmd. This opens the Easy Deploy shell which you'll use to execute the import and export commands. We've only scratched the surface, but I hope this video has given you a high-level overview of the Easy Deploy utility. Thank you for watching. Look out for our next video on Easy Deploy profiles.